just say something in the comments and let me know. Why is this not? Oh, there it goes. All right. Trying to get everything flowing this morning. So bear with me just a moment. All right. So beautiful. I'm so glad to have you here. Give me a second more while I pull this up on my phone. If I can find it, there we go. To get all right. All right. So, how are you this morning? Are you feeling elated and excited about being here, being alive? A lot to be grateful for, right? Good morning, Wendy. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, I was thinking a lot about things this morning, as I always do, right? And I was listening to some people on YouTube that I love to follow, and there was a couple of things that was said in this morning as I was listening. And you're ready for your next cruise? Is that what you're ready for? Are you ready for today? Yeah, I don't know. Great to see you too, Wendy. I know you're going to be going on another cruise really quick, so we've got you for just a short period of time. So thank you for taking time out of your world to be here in ours. So I was thinking a lot about, we've done several times, we've done things where we were looking at our superhero name and those kinds of things. Ready for everything. All right, good. So, but I want to talk to you today about, and we've kind of touched on it a little bit in the past. I guess a lot of this month has been about our identity, who we are. I guess we talk about it an awful lot, but it bears to be talked about. Because our identity of who we are and what we believe about ourselves is created from birth to 7, as I've said so many times before. And the thing is that as we've created this identity of who we are, we've spent our whole life making sure it was true. And we get in touch with the same people. That's why when, for instance, at one point, my son was having a lot of issues and he kept wanting to move away to a different location so that he would be different. And I said, that doesn't work that way. I said, you take you everywhere you go. So you got to change who you are here, because if you go to another place, you're going to attract the same people that they'll just have different names. And so we're all the time surrounding ourselves with relationships and things that prove without a shadow of a doubt what we think about ourselves. And we can change and shift a lot of things and create a new reality. And then something can happen to pop us right back into where we were. And so it can be this push-pull of circumstances in your life. It goes really well for a while, and then something happens to bring you right back. Then it goes really well. And it's kind of like I said, with my weight issue my whole life, I would lose a lot of weight and then I'd gain it back and more. And I'd lose a little weight and I'd gain it back and more. And we do that with everything pretty much in our lives. And so it takes really changing some things inside to create something new. And you're leaving Sunday. Okay, I knew it was right around the corner. So I'm going to go ahead and share our affirmation. Let me do this real quick. Hold on. All right, so our affirmation for today is, I have the power to shape my identity and become whoever I choose to be. Today, I step into my boldest, most unstoppable alter ego and own my greatness. And so we're not doing a superhero, we're creating an alter ego. And so I pulled up some information I want to share with you, because there are people that we recognize that have alter egos and it's changed their world. So let me get to this information. So I've got a list of 5 people that have alter egos that change their world. Okay. So Beyonce is one. She created her alter ego, Sasha Fierce, to embody confidence and fearless energy on stage. And she used this persona to push past shyness and deliver powerful performances. So it's like, we've talked before about when you take your power pose when you walk through a door. And one of the things that people a lot of times do is that before they get on stage, they have this imaginary character that they are. That's their alter ego, right? So Kobe Bryant had the Black Mamba. And so he used the Black Mamba persona to channel focus, intensity, and killer instinct on the court, because it helped him separate the kindness, the person that he was in his real life, into this person who dominated the game under pressure. So he felt like his persona of who he really was didn't have that instinct, that ability to do that. So he created the Black Mamba. Now, David Bowie had Ziggy Stardust. So he was the rock star from another world. And he pushed creative boundaries and revolutionized music, but it gave him the freedom to explore new artistic heights. So just imagine, so Wendy, if you created an alter ego, whatever that is for you, and you showed up on the cruise ship with this alter ego and you were able to be even more yourself, right? Or even not even more yourself, but more of who you aspire to be, right? So Marshall Mathers, you may know him as Eminem, he created Slim Shady. Yeah, that was his alter ego that helped him to express this raw, unfiltered thoughts and rebellious side of himself in his music. And he created some amazing stuff, right? As Slim Shady. And then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he became a global superstar. We all know The Rock, don't we? He crafted The Rock, which was a confident, charismatic, and unstoppable wrestling persona. And this alter ego launched his career and later helped him transition into Hollywood. So that's just 5 examples of people that have done that. And there are probably people in our everyday life that in some ways do that. So when we're looking at our identity and who we want to become, one of the things that we talk about a lot is imagining yourself already being that. Because I don't know if you remember, but one of the things that I love is in the movie Crazy Rich Asians. And there's a woman in there, the mom figure, that they've got more money than I've ever heard of before. But in the movie, the mom has this air about her and she dresses a certain way. You can tell when she's walking that is who she is, that she not only has money, but she has confidence, right? And so as I would watch her, I would think, oh, I kind of like that, the way that feels. And so it's like finding out what your alter ego would be like. Would your alter ego be slumped shoulders and walking downcast? Or would they be standing tall, and breathing and smiling and just being part of the world, right? Wonder Wendy. Ah, yes. The duck angel. I really like that one. You and your ducks, right? So, like I said, it's what is your alter ego, not your super power name, your superhero name. What is this alter ego, right? So, like I just gave the examples, right? Beyonce as Sasha Fierce, Kobe Bryant was the Black Mamba, David Bowie was Ziggy Stardust, Marshall Matthews was Slim Shady, Eminem, Slim Shady, and then Dwayne The Rock Johnson was The Rock. And they created this persona to be able to fearlessly do what they wanted to do. And so when you think about it, there are you can see actors and actresses on screen, right? And they're being whoever their character is. They're being that. And some of them get so into it that they have a hard time getting out of that character, right? And some of them want to make sure they stay in character so much that they walk through their lives during the filming of the movie or the show as that person. So what I'm asking you is, who do you want to be? Who do you want to show up as? What's all of this going to create within you, right? Because you have the power to shape your identity and become whoever you choose to be, not what people have said about you. And we've talked about this a lot because we grow up with the misconception that what people say about us and how people react to us, that that's who we are. But that's not true. We just take on their identity of us. So it doesn't mean you're being somebody you're not. It means that you're tapping into who you really are inside. And that takes a little digging sometimes to figure out who you are and what's showing up in your world that you probably don't even realize that is proving the identity that somebody else gave you. And so it's time to discover who you are. And, I mentioned yesterday that I had this really cool thing that's going to start happening in our stand up and stand out community. It's like a challenge that we're going to do. And I'm going to be releasing the information over the weekend to really get you into this place where you can tap into your identity of who you are. We're going to have some amazing things happening. There'll be a daily video, and then I will share a daily challenge on top of it, like a double dog dare ya challenge, right? And so it's going to be really powerful to help you shape shift into this identity of who you really are deep inside, that you a lot of times don't allow out. I've discovered who I am. I'm a giver of love. Yes, I love that, Wendy. I love that. So it's going to be very powerful. And so just keep watching. So as soon as I have everything up and running, I will be posting it in the group. But I just want you to know there are some tools and tricks to help you get deeper into this, right? I love the reminder that we have a choice to choose who shows up. Thank you for that. I can be this identity in the morning and that identity in the afternoon. I get to choose. Yes. Good to have you here, Michelle. It was a Christmas discovery. Okay. Cool. So today I step into my boldest, most unstoppable alter ego and own my greatness. Now let's get to this journal prompt. And I think it's a little long. Let me see if I can change one thing and see if I can get it to all show up together. Yes. Ooh, I'm getting better at this. All right. So, our journal prompt, okay? So, if I could create a next level, fearless version of myself, who would they be? What name would they have? How would they show up? And what bold moves would they make today? That's a lot to unpack, right? But you can do this. And I'm going to go back to some of my notes, and so I'm going to remind you Beyonce was Sasha Fierce. That helped her push past her shyness and deliver powerful performances, right? Kobe Bryant was Black Mamba. That name, that persona, helped him separate his personal life from his game life. David Bowie was Ziggy Stardust. It gave him the freedom to explore new artistic heights. Marshall Mathews, Eminem, Slim Shady. It helped him create some of his most iconic and fearless work. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, The Rock, this alter ego launched his WWE career and later helped him transition into Hollywood. You get to choose who you become. And what's your alter ego, and how will that alter ego help you show up bigger and bolder? Bigger and bolder. Because no matter where we are in our world and how well things are, there's a next level that we're not attaching, we're not going into. And it doesn't have to be anything really big unless you choose it to. But what I'm saying is that we a lot of times get comfortable in our space that we're in. We like the way things are going. This feels good. But then there's another level that you could be so bold and really, really dive in, but we don't. So today, let's really dive into this one, right? If, and we know we can, if I could create a next level, fearless version of myself, who would they be? What would their name be? I'm going to be pondering on this one today because I was thinking about it this morning and I wasn't really sure, to be honest with you. So I'll be journaling about this today because it feels really good to think about this bold version of me and what's their name going to be. And I think there's a lot more artists, whether it's music, whether it's in wrestling, or whether it's in they're in the movies, or they're musicians, or just people in general that do amazing things. They all have this little creative person that they are. Even people like even thinking about Tony Robbins, that he, in his mind, I'm sure, because he has this process that he does before he gets on the stage, where he pumps himself up into being who he is when he gets out on the stage. And so that's tapping into his alter ego as well. So how can you do that today? Who would you be? And what name would they have? So today, grab into, journaling about a lot of this, of seeing where you are now. And, like I said, sometimes it takes looking at what we've been doing that's not serving us and flipping it, right? So let's say you're a person that procrastinates on marketing. So what if your alter ego was a massive marketer that every time you sat down in front of the computer to do your marketing, you could almost like turn on a light switch to where that alter ego would step up and be ultra confident and spend the time doing the work, right? And then when you finished, you could go back to being you. So you can have, like Michelle said, you can have one identity in the morning and one identity in the afternoon. You get to choose. So you can actually pick an identity for the different activities that you have during the day. And it doesn't mean you're not being you. It means that you're allowing the you deep inside that is already there to surface for these activities. And so, like, if you're wanting to be a speaker on stage and you're just kind of holding yourself back, create a persona that allows you to be so bold and get out on stage and speak confidently about your subject. Maybe one of your things is that you have a hard time having conversations with people. Have a persona for that one too, right? Because all of that stuff was within you, or you could not create it in your imagination. It kind of reminds me of a movie I fell off in love with, Imaginary Friend. I don't know that I've seen that. I'll have to check that out. Going for surgical consultation today for revision of my reconstruction. Okay. Well, cool. I guess that's a cool thing, right? So I'll keep you in your mind, and I'll keep you in my thoughts and prayers, okay? And it will go exactly the way you want it to. So I'm going to go back to our affirmation. I have the power to shape my identity and become whoever I choose to be. Because, like I said, if it wasn't in you, you wouldn't be able to bring it forth. It's already there. You just aren't allowing it out. So now you're giving yourself permission to be your boldest, most unstoppable self. You're letting it out. And for those that may not remember or don't know, I'm a hypnotist, but when I tell people, about hypnosis and give them examples about things, one of the ones that I talk about is when I had hypnosis on a cruise ship where I was part of a show. And the reason that's important right here, right now, is that when I chose to get up on the stage and try to get into the show, it was because I am an introvert extrovert. It depends on the situation, right? So I'm always looking for ways to just let myself out without being self-conscious or second guessing everything I did. And so I was able to get up on the stage. I played full out and had a blast on this hypnosis show, right? And then the thing is that I could blame it. Like, if anybody said anything negative, I could say, oh, well, that's okay. I was under hypnosis. But see, the truth is, like with hypnosis, they will not tell you to do something and you do it when you don't want to. No, you have to really want it. So I deep down wanted to be this person that would get up on the stage and act goofy, act silly, say stupid things, and it be okay, right? And so in some ways, that was a persona too, because I allowed that to be my world right then. And so all I'm asking you to do is look at your life now, and where do you want to tap into this alter ego, this you that you've always wanted to be, but for whatever reason, you've held back some, right? So you have the power to shape your identity and become whoever you choose to be. Today, step into your boldest, most unstoppable alter ego and own your greatness. Put that on your sticky note, the index card, the screensaver on your phone. Put it somewhere that you're reminded today that you get to choose. And then our journal prompt, where are we on time? Okay. Our journal prompt is, if I could create a next level fearless version of myself, who would they be? Who would they be? What name would they have? How would they show up? And what bold moves would they make today and every day, right? Because you create this alter ego, you don't just have it for a day, it becomes part of your toolbox of allowing you to be what you want to be. And so, like I said, you can use it all day long in different areas. If there's a part of your life that you have a hard time dealing with, like for me, sometimes it's the marketing. So I'm creating this marketing alter ego so that when I get in front of the computer, I don't distract myself. I'm just going for it, right? And so, what do you need in your life? Because, like I said, if it's not in here, you can't make it. So, it is part of you. It's one of those parts that you're just not letting out. Pretend you're on a stage and you're going to show people who you are. Bring that alter ego in, perform your truth of who you are, right? So, the thing today is, as I always recommend, get your notebook out, your journal out, put the date, the affirmation, and then spend 10 to 15 minutes in total silence, because that silence will really help you tap in to your inner guidance, your God voice, the inside of you that's wanting to be birthed out. It's wanting to come out and say hello, but we're stuffing it down most of the time, right? Thank you, Wendy. You too. Step into your boldest self with a new alter ego. Yes, ma'am. I love it. I love it. So make sure you take that 10 to 15 minutes in silence, focusing on your breath, just allowing your subconscious mind to mull over this. And then when you come out of this 10 to 15 minutes of silence, allow your brain and your heart, your inner guidance to flow out your arm onto the page. Don't critique it. Don't analyze it. Don't do anything. Just write. And it might be that you come up with a whole bunch of names for yourself. You come up with a whole bunch of bold moves. That's perfect, right? Figure out which one you want to be right now. Take some bold moves and own that alter ego. What if today is the catalyst that in 6 months you look back and see how drastically your life changed when you took this alter ego and made it you? And you started showing up on every call, every conversation, every move you made was this version of you, this alter ego. Like I said, in that Crazy Rich Asians that I watched, as I watched this woman flowing through her life, now she had some qualities I wasn't too fond of, but I loved her persona. So maybe it's that you've seen someone that just emulates and shows up how you feel like you want to show up. Just look around and see. But be you, right? But sometimes we need to look at somebody and say, oh, I like the way that looks. And that seems like it would feel so amazing to tap into that, right? But you be you. Don't be a complete mirror of someone else, because you're an individual. You got different fingerprints. You got different stories, a different life. But be your alter ego, right? So it's time to play the game. Step into your alter ego and let them lead the way today, and just journal and see, what does that feel like at the end of your day when you've been this alter ego? How do you show up differently? Oof. Play with it today. You've got this. So step into your boldest self with a new alter ego, just like Wendy said. All right. So you have an exceptional, amazing day. And I will see you. Oh, I almost forgot. Tonight, is it tonight? Yes. Tonight at 5 p.m. Eastern is the bingo, the mindset bingo. So mastering your mindset bingo. And so there's a link in the events section. If you haven't signed up, go ahead and sign up. And I would love to see you there tonight. It's going to be so much fun. And then tomorrow is the Stand Up and Stand Out party at 5:30 Eastern p.m. 5:30 p.m. Eastern. I need to say that p.m. right? And there's that's in the events section as well. And keep watching for the opportunity I have for us doing our Find Our Inner Vision of Ourselves challenge in the group. It's going to be mind-blowing, and I can't wait to share it with you. And other than those two things, or those three things, I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Bring a friend. It would be fun. Mwah.